It's Tuesday, July 24th, 2018. MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show. It's the show before the show. I am Goes. That's George. That's Eric Nicksick. That's Dan Tom. Danny Okers in New York.
That me.
And that's how we do the pre-show. It's pretty much the only consistent thing about it.
Yeah.
Good job, Danny. Man,
I contributed.
Freezing in here.
It is so cold over here too.
Is it?
Computer a little? I got all these
like, I'm wearing a sweatshirt now. I came in sweating and I'm regretting sweating because now it's just frozen to me.
Gross.
Yeah, it is gross. I know.
Hey man, stop being gross. Has that ever been on your agenda for the day?
Nah, not normally.
Jenny and Josh. I think Megan's such a cool chick. She's beautiful. Her and Joe complement each other so well. Yeah. Like they're even like the same height. Like they're just fucking. I'm gonna grab M so she knows. Okay.
30 seconds, George.
You know.
Cause I know time. What else is new?
When you left, I wasn't sure if you'd make it in time for 8:45, and you know how they like to preview early, so I just did it because I had a little extra time.
Alright guys, coming up. Stand by.
I wasn't sure if you'd forget or whatever.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMAjunkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'!
Hey, Dan.
The MMAjunkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMAjunkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMAjunkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMAjunkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Races Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMAjunkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes, our ace co-host, Dan Tom, hanging out there. He's the fight analyst. He went 5-1, by the way, on the main card. Thank you, nice. Dan. Made me some money. Back east, handling the producing duties, as always, Danny Otto. And that big coffee right there belongs to Eric Nicksick, the Xtreme Couture general manager, also a coach to fighters like Lance Palmer and Uriah Hall and Brad Tavares and Ryan Couture. So he'll be chilling here with us co-hosting, as will Emily Whitmire, UFC strawweight. She should be arriving soon. You know chicks, they be tripping. Did you tell her 10 or 10:03?
Told her 10.
10? Okay.
You know how those girls are.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of outs when it comes to our guests because they can do the old still Mandalay Bay? Still the sportsbook? 10 a.m.? Like, there's a lot of things that buys them an extra 5 minutes.
It's her first time here, so I'll cut her a pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Hotels are massive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't realize you could park at 9:55 and go, oh, yeah, I'm here early, you know, but by the time you walk the stairs or get on an escalator or something and then start to ask questions, I mean, they're just big properties.
Oh, yeah.
So I always tell people, you know, somebody will say, hey, I'm at the Excalibur. I'm like, well, leave at 9:30 and get here by 9:45 because sometimes you look around or, you know, they're just big hotels.
Well, Luxor's confusing. Like with the two separate towers, where the hell you're at, and you're in that pyramid.
Oh, that's right.
Like,
Yeah,
dude, where?
I was like, it's not that confusing,
Bro,
but I forgot about those 2 towers.
Yeah,
You're right.
You know they have
is haunted.
They have 3 Starbucks in that
Luxor.
pyramid.
Yeah.
Really?
3 of them.
Yeah, so that'll screw you up. That's your point of reference is a
Why not have
Starbucks.
4
2
though,
of
at
them
that
are
point?
real close together too, and Mandalay Bay's got 2. What was your question?
It was. I just realized it was actually dumb. So
That they have 4? You said why do they have 4? Right?
Why don't they have 4?
Why don't they have 4?
Oh, it's not in separate points.
Oh, I know why. Okay, now I was thinking triangle. Forget it. I'm stupid.
I got you.
How you been?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
What's your coffee of choice at Starbucks?
I wanted nitro. They didn't have nitro at that one.
What's in the nitro? That sounds powerful.
Man, it is powerful. Lance Palmer got me on those things, but in New York, there's only like every other Starbucks might have one. Where they carry the nitro brew, but that was just a cold brew. So
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of new, so some places are carrying them and some aren't.
But is it like 12 shots, or why do they call it nitro? It sounds like something where
you know how Guinness
you're
is poured
gonna
off
shoot
the
up to the
nitrous?
moon or something.
Like how Guinness is poured, and it looks just like you're drinking a Guinness. The way it settles and everything else.
Oh.
And dude, one of those, and I'm shot.
Do you know how to officially pour a Guinness?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you go to Ireland and do it, or
No,
did you get certified here?
No, just being
or
an
did you
Irish
certify
bartender.
yourself?
Yeah, certify myself. Being an Irish bartender since I was 20 years old, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pouring, and then you get those snotty ass dudes that are like, you know how to pour a proper Guinness? Like, bro, chill. I know how to pour a Guinness.
Do they have accents or no? Or they just went there and figured it out?
They're just what? Because Em and I work together, so probably like just snobby Summerlin ass people that don't know shit anyway.
They ask if you know how to pour it.
Yeah, oh, you know how to pour a proper Guinness? You're like, yeah, bro, I know how to pour it. Do you know how to pour a proper Guinness? Let's ask that.
What was that accent?
I don't even know.
It wasn't an accent, or was it just the douchebag?
Douchebag. It's probably more of a
that's what I thought it
douchebag.
was.
Yeah, the Summerlin douchebag.
Want to welcome to the show Emily Whitmire, UFC
Hello.
strawweight. How you doing?
I don't know what to do with this thing. I'm doing good. How are
Where
you
do I put my
guys?
hands?
You got it, or
I don't know.
as long as the mic is there, you're
You
good.
could squeeze
There
it
we
and
go.
it'll.
Just gonna move
I'm
around.
figuring it out. I'm definitely
girl.
a 90s
Do you
baby.
know how to pour a Guinness?
Well, we have it wrong, I think. So it's supposed to be nitro, right?
Yeah, it's on nitrous.
Well, what's the other one? Or so that one's separate from the other ones.
They all run off a certain thing, but the Guinness is off of the nitrous.
Oh, okay. So we do it right.
Yeah,
then.
we do it right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the Guinness would be flat. It
Oh,
tastes like shit.
okay. Well, I did work at a bar where we had Guinness, but it wasn't off the nitro. So then everyone kind of like said it
Yeah,
was
so it
bad.
tastes like shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I can pour a proper Guinness.
Are you a bartender?
No, I'm a server.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm just the bitch between him and the people.
she's the best one in the
This is gonna be a fun show.
Yeah. You should be there when we work together, man. It's
fun.
comedy.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's comedy.
Well, apparently, that's what people do is they go and well, it's ridiculous, but I saw a show of help me out here.
Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue. Yeah.
Really? I just guessed.
I did. It was Bar Rescue.
I won?
Well, I mean, it was Bar Rescue, and the guy said, "We're gonna revamp your bar. It's falling apart." You know the whole premise, right?
Right.
And then he goes, "I'm sending you to Ireland."
Oh yeah.
And he's never
I
done
saw
that.
that one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw that one to learn
Yeah.
how to pour proper Guinness.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they went and they did a whole day's worth or a class, and they got certified. But it was a big deal to the people teaching it,
Right.
and it was a big deal to the people learning it. So I thought, this might be a kind of a serious thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and that's what I was asking.
Nah,
That's why I
it's just
remembered.
the way you pour it down, and then the way you push the handle back. That's really it. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. You let it settle for it's supposed to be a minute and a half. You pour
We're too
half of
busy.
it.
We don't do that.
We're too busy. Yeah. Yeah, and if you complain about it, you're gonna hear shit from either one of us. So,
What's the drink that makes you kind of roll your eyes when you hear it?
lemon drops.
Lemon drops?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't mind because I'm not the one making them, but I know anything blended or like muddled bartenders hate.
Well, we don't have a blender because I broke that shit years ago.
I guess he threw
How'd
it
you
out
do
the
that?
back door.
Really?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, we were busy as hell, and this girl kept ordering like pina coladas or some shit, and I fucking threw the blender across the back door of the bar. And I was like, blender's broke.
Damn.
How long ago was that?
Years ago when we first opened.
And you
the
haven't
pub.
replaced it?
Fuck no. I was told.
So
them-
there's no blended drinks
Yeah.
at your bar?
No.
Yeah. And then the best probably ever was Zach's favorite story. Some guy walks up and orders 5 lemon drop shots, and it was 5 dudes, and I go, nah, bro. And I just turned around and walked away as I'm not making it. The guy's like, you're not making them? I'm like, no, I'm not making you 5 lemon drop shots.
And is
You
it
need to order-
because...
It's a dude ordering lemon drop shots in an Irish bar. I just can't do it.
Gotcha.
Look, if you guys want to call and complain, we don't have human resources. Like, we're it.
That's my favorite thing about working there is that it's like really for like the people that work there. Like if you complain, you can just get the fuck out.
Yeah,
So.
you can write it all on the
The owner's got your back.
Oh, he's the best. He's like my uncle. So, yeah, we try not to piss everybody off, but you know, some people they deserve it. So.
People go out with that mentality that like we're here to serve them, and like we're not a servant. We're here to help serve, but people treat people that serve food really awful, and I'm not sure exactly like when that started, the whole customer's always right thing. I think that definitely started off, but people literally go out with the mentality to like, I'm going to complain about this because I'm going to get this for free, or like people just automatically they'll
on
lie.
Twitter you see that a lot.
Yeah, and like they just want to get free
Thanks
stuff.
a lot, American Airlines. Now I'm stuck,
That's the main
and I won't make it to my kid's birthday party, and then they're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. They're hoping American Airlines goes, well, tell you what, we feel bad. Here's $1,000 voucher.
Yeah, everyone wants that. Everybody wants something for free instead of just like, you're the one that did all these modifications. Now you don't like it. What do you want me to do about it? You know, so people just, they'll go out, they'll modify, they'll complain, and they'll try and get things done the way they want. Then they don't like it, and then they complain more. So it's just really hard.
On the flip side of that, we've pretty much weeded it out. So the people that do come in, it's always fun. You know,
they know what they're getting.
They know what they're getting into. But it's kind of
it
an
sounds like
extended
Dick's
family.
Last Resort, except
kind
a bar.
of. I mean, kind of. I guess you could say that. You know, so
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure. They try to offend you. Yeah,
Well, we just don't cuss as much to the people coming.
You said the B word like 30 seconds into this show.
I know. I have a bad mouth.
That's okay. We're on Sirius XM, so
I can say
fire off.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah. I mean, how come we haven't been there? Have you been there?
I did go one time, but he wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
you guys got to go.
Oh, that's the night you said I had the best night.
Best night ever. Eric wasn't there. The bartender was so nice.
Lemon drops are on point.
Lemon drops are on point.
They had the blender. They brought it in from the hiding spot.
All right.
So you're not going to replace the blender, huh?
No, hell no. If you're ordering blended drinks,
are you costing the business?
No, they don't listen. They love. I'm the hammer in there. They love me. They just we don't need a blender. There's no point. Like if you're ordering,
whenever people order margaritas and I'm like, it's coming on the rocks, we don't have a blender, they're always like, oh, okay. Like usually it's not that big of a deal. And if you're like wanting a blended drink, usually you're not going out into an environment like that. You're going to some other like fruity tooty place. Like if you're at a bar like that, you're either ordering a Guinness or like a Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
Finish the story with the lemon drops. The guy says, "Give me 5." You say no. You turn around. He goes, "For real?" And then did they stand there and wait like suckers, or
like if you get
did they change their order?
Yeah, he got his card pulled right from the get. Like how do you dude? Give me your man card. Walk it off. Come back later with something better, and then we'll talk. But I'm not pouring you and your fucking chaps 5 lemon drops here at an Irish pub.
What was his backup? Like what did
he had nothing. I mean, what can you say? You should have been embarrassed enough when. I thought they were all joking. Like, you guys are really coming up to order 5 lemon drop shots. And my bar back, he's just like, oh, shit, dude. I can't believe
Who was it?
Zach.
Zach?
Yeah, he's like, oh, shit, bro. I can't believe you just I was like, nah, bro.
Zach's bad, too, though. Zach will say,
who do you think you learned it from?
Yeah, he'll say awful things to the customers. He'll just like, no, and walk away.
Now, is that a hard stance? Because if he would have pulled out a couple friends from that wallet, would the blender work then?
No.
No. See, I would have made.
Not the blender. We don't have one.
Money talks.
Money talks. Yeah.
But the lemon drops don't require.
I would have had to put them on my IG though, put them on blast. But we would have made them.
Oh man, that girl that was passing out at the bar that one day.
Caught her on the IG. Caught her on the IG. You see these couples come in. We're like the Match.com bar.
Yeah, Tinder dates,
Tinder,
like the whole night. It happens all the time.
You see the couples come in, and it just like, oh, I'm meeting somebody. You're like, yeah, fuck, bro, I know. So then the other one comes in, and then there's the awkward kind of fucking 5-10 minutes. I love that shit.
Huh?
I love that shit. Yeah.
Eating popcorn, watching.
Fuck yeah! I just can't wait for this shit to self-destruct.
We see a cowboy hat. Or you're like farmers only. What's
dude,
up?
and then you can see the disappointment if the girl's not hot, or and he's like, fuck, oh, dude, or vice versa, But then like
do they have contingency plans?
You could tell.
You could tell. Like, you guys were going to be here.
You can see if they're on their phone all the time. Like they're not involved in the conversation. But the best is when you just start to see like they're having a good time. They reach a certain point, and at this point, it's like, dude, get her out of here. It's on. Like you got it. And he wants one more drink. The one more drink, and it's a shot or two, and then he says something wrong, or he grabbed her titty wrong, or did something stupid, and then it just all goes to shit. And that's when I'm just back there clapping my fucking hands.
Like the monkey with the symbols?
Oh, dude, just watching it all go to shit, and that's where I'm on my IG like, oh, dude.
Now, out of 10, how many self-destruct?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, at least 8. I mean,
Okay.
they're awful. I mean, it's fucking online dating. It's awful. It's awful. And you got to imagine, too, like, you know, I've never done Tinder or whatever else, so I don't know how this shit, but you're coming to an Irish pub. Like, it's not like a romantic date, you know? And then it's just doomed
Going
from the
out
start.
to eat chicken strips.
Yeah. The name of the bar is 3 Angry Wives. Why the fuck would you bring anybody that you want to have a relationship with to a bar called 3 Angry Wives?
Right.
Nah, man. I'm going to, like, Hope Floats bar or some shit.
Why has he been holding on to these nuggets? You've co-hosted like a million times, and we're
we
talking
never got into the
MMA
bar.
and strategies and leg kicks, and I'm having a blast here.
I love you guys.
I like
man.
these.
You got to come down to the bar more often.
Is there a trap door in the bathroom? You should be like the official Tinder bar and just have your own trap doors and stuff that guys can just kind of.
I've drugged dudes out the back door before.
We kind of do. There is a back door right next to the bathroom, so if things get really awful, you can just exit out right that back door.
I pulled a few of those out, the carcasses out of that back door.
Oh, you dragged them out because it's passed out?
No, like we've gotten in fights in that hallway, and there's that just getaway trap door where they can't get back in. The only way back in through the front, but you know, you're going out this way, and if you come back through the front, it's going to be a lot worse for you. You know, so yeah, we clean up shop in there. It's fun.
Damn.
There should be like 3 angry wives and 2 angry bartenders. Huh?
Right. Yeah.
Could be. We should be a reality show.
I always tell everyone I'm the happy girlfriend because they're always like, "Oh, are you one of the angry wives?" I'm like, "No, I'm a happy girlfriend."
Yeah.
They all think it's
I'm
funny.
the side chick.
That's funny.
Do the Extreme Couture, do they come a lot?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Like Palmer was in there a couple weeks ago for dinner. Like Randy's in there quite a bit. Well, not as much as he used to be, but Randy would be in there all the time. Ryan, all the boys, Ray.
When I post that I work, there's some teammates that come in.
Yeah,
and
they'll come in and hang out.
Who's the worst tipper?
Out of our team?
Yeah.
I usually don't take money from them.
Yeah.
You know?
But they still have to play the game, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, the bill's 100. They don't write 100, or they don't leave 100. Right?
No, I usually take care of them.
Yeah, we always take care of like. That's one good thing about working there is they'll let us take care of a few beers for our friends that come in and see us, and so like usually a few of theirs are taken care of, and they just like treat us well in return. I think that's kind of like the playoff.
Yeah. So
that's cool. But who's the worst tipper?
I don't ever really take any like.
All right. What about when you guys go other places?
I don't know. I feel like we have a solid group of people. A lot of the people that we like train with, they work in the industry as well, or like they just know. I feel like a lot of people that are from Vegas, they're like accustomed like to being that like 15 to 20% is like not that big of a deal to them, just because like you're from Vegas and you know that's just the way it is. So I don't really know. I think maybe Bryce. I will throw Bryce. I'll throw Bryce Harley under the bus. Only because he was talking about he went out for drinks one day and he's like, I was tipping well. The server was cute. He's hilarious. And he was like, you know, I was tipping $1, $2 on a drink. And I was like, in my head, I was like, that is not tipping good, bro. Bryce. That's like kind of standard or like below standard. But I didn't call him out too bad.
Should have. I'm calling him out now.
Well, I kind of just called him out publicly.
Frank Trigg, who co-hosted with us a lot.
Trigg comes in all the time.
He used to say that he was almost proud of it, right?
Yeah.
That he was a bad tipper?
A little bit, like.
That's so scummy to me.
Well,
that's Trigg though.
That's Trigg.
Yeah, that's fucking Trigg. Trigg used to come and see me all the time, but I would always take care of him, and he'd always throw $20-$40 or something on the rail.
Right.
But you know, Trigg, he'll put some down. Mm-hmm. But most of our guys, if they come in, it's usually just to eat. You know, they're not really drinking a whole lot.
What's the best thing on the menu there?
I like the wings, man.
See, I don't eat that stuff. I would say the Captain Crunch French toast, though, or the banana Foster's French toast.
Captain Crunch French toast is where it's at. She got me on that one.
And the chocolate cake. All mine stuff is sweets. The chocolate cake there is just unreal. It's just it's cold, but so it's like really soft and moist and just like really heavy.
I'm so happy you said that.
Oh.
Okay, I always get on my friends because their description for every dessert that has chocolate in it, they always say the same thing. It's rich.
Yeah, no.
And when you ask them, what does that mean? They all have different explanations. I think it's just a made-up thing that people say.
I'm glad that you brought that up too because I've heard that.
Rich?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, you described it. You said moist and fluffy. I was like, all right, I'm feeling that.
Now you want some cake?
Yeah,
I want some cake.
We'll have to do a field trip, right?
I want some fucking French toast.
I always recommend the cake.
What days are you there?
I'm just there Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll be there this week, and then I'm literally probably only been working like maybe once or twice a week, or actually once or twice a month. So I've just been traveling. I've been gone. So, and they're great. Like Aaron and Reggie are my two managers. They love it. They pick up anything I need. They're just like, they were so proud of her, like for her win. Like Aaron made the fight. Our owner made her fight. You know, it just it's such a good environment in there, such a family environment. They support us so much with our careers. that they're just kind of an extension of that. So, I mean, they're awesome. They're awesome people.
Like during a shift, you'll have 3 people on. You have a server, a bar back, and a bartender. So it's pretty hard not to be all really close with each other. So it's like every shift, like you guys are talking, laughing, having fun. It's just like everyone there just vibes so well with each other. I'm like so thankful that he brought me on there. Like I really lucked out, like being able to come and go. I don't technically actually have any shifts, and so I just pick up when I don't have a fight and then when the girls need me and stuff. So I'm super lucky. When football starts, I'll probably work the Patriots games, but
is it a Patriots bar?
Yeah, we're a Patriots bar.
They fucking love her. They love, like, and it's packed. Like Dana White comes in for the games, like it's packed in that bar for Patriots. You know, and I think they've been in the Super Bowl last 2, 3 years, something like that. So, you know, when season goes, she's the one that pretty much runs that whole show.
Yeah.
And like, what do they say all the time? Just
so like anytime the Patriots like get the ball or get a touchdown or like do anything good, they'll all scream, "Hey Emily, did you see that shit?" It's pretty cool. So like literally the whole bar screams it, and like we all are like, "Woo!" So it gets like pretty rowdy in there.
I take it you're a Patriots fan now?
You know, I actually like don't pay much attention to football, but like obviously I do want the Patriots to do well because that like really depends on like the client's like mood and stuff. It's like pretty sad to see like some of them that are so invested in the season, like they leave and they're down and they like get an extra 5 drinks before they go if we lose. Luckily it doesn't happen very often, and like usually we win, but this last Super Bowl that was pretty sad. So I do hope they win just because that's like where I'm working. I'd rather work in a happy environment than a sad environment.
Best tip ever?
Probably 2 G's.
Damn.
Oh man,
yeah, 2 G's.
Okay. Dana White, I take it, or
no? Somebody hit for 20 grand.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was actually a Christmas party that we had. So it was a good friend of mine that bartended at Kona Grill forever, and he never gambled. So during the Christmas party, he came in. We closed it all down, so it's just invited guests. So we all gave out like free money to play. On his first 100, he hits for like 500. So puts 100 on the rail, puts another 100 in the machine, bumps it up to like dollars, hits something on dollars.
Was he playing Keno or something?
No, video poker. Hits something that was pretty significant, like 2-3 grand or 2-4 grand, something like that. And then again, tips us again. And now he's like, screw it, I'm just going to keep bumping the denomination up. And goes to $5, hits for 10 grand.
Jesus.
So while we're waiting for the techs to come, because you have to pay 10 grand or more, the tech has to pay. Somebody shows up. He hits another one on the machine hits another 10 grand. And just a super good dude in the industry. So just off the 10 grand hits alone, he tipped 2,000, and then everything else on top that he hit in between.
I bet everybody was just foaming at the mouth on the machines around him.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. So and he ended up buying like a Volkswagen van like the next day, like just super hippie dude, cool guy, and tipped the shit out of everybody, you know. So yeah, it was.
What
cool.
do you expect when someone hits anything?
Well,
whether it's 1,600,
it's tough
8,
to say. Like
standard
industry is 10%.
10%.
But again, like you have to consider, like, is he in 4 grand
right
to win 2 grand,
or did he get dumped Monday through Thursday and Friday was his
So I mean, usually those big players that you know that are consistent gamblers, they could be chasing, and technically they're always chasing.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like I think of it as per session. So like on Monday, you walked in, you put $500 in, you walked out with 4 grand, you're up 3,500. Tip accordingly, you know.
Yeah.
If you can, but that's kind of the way of the business. But you know, on average, when we're walking out of there $400 or $500 a night, so it's tough to complain.
I feel like there's tipping karma too. Like, you know, you stiff your bartender on this one time, and the next like time you don't hit. But it's like you tip your bartender good, then the next time you hit, and like it just keeps going. Like the more like willing you are to like give money, the more money is like willing to come to you.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to rub your back and be your fucking pal either when you're a shitty tipper. You know, that's just, you know, the good people come in. Like, I have a good rapport with a lot of the gamers and people that I'm actually friends with outside of the bar. But, like, just shitty people come in and they kind of act a certain way. Like, you don't even just, hey, here's your drink, cruise, you know.
I'm going to be really cool next time I go, but I swear to God, if you don't rub my back, I'm going to be so mad.
I ain't fucking rubbing your back.
I'm going to be so mad.
How about you, Emily? What's your best tip ever?
You know, I don't think it works the same as servers, but I think the only thing I can remember getting like I think somewhere around like 200, but that was on like a really big tab. So it's different for servers, like where like like the better would be like, what's my best night like? Because
volume.
they get tipped. You know, one person can like make or break the night like really easily. And so for me, it's just like volume. Like the most money I've ever made was definitely a St. Patrick's Day at 3 Angry Wives. I think it was like around like 1,200 or something like that. Yeah, which is a great night. Before that, I was working like down on Cabo and Cabo Wabo on the Strip. And my best night then was like 700. So definitely quite a bit more. You know, that St. Patrick's Day.
Nice. All right. Let's take this break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about your win over Jamie Moyle at UFC 226.
Cool.
Eric, you've been on the road. There's been some local fights, and then you've also, like I said, been on the road. I've seen you in Temecula. You were in New York recently, and then you had the guys fighting here in Vegas. So we'll catch up on all that.
Busy boy.
It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. Eric Nicksick, Emily Whitmire, both in the house. Also in the second hour, Cub Swanson will stop by.
Of course you'd love it.
Charm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is previewing the season by visiting the training camp of all 32 teams. The NFL Radio Training Camp Tour kicks off Friday afternoon at 4 Eastern with the Dallas Cowboys. Hear it on Channel 88, streaming on your phone or at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers. All right. By the way, who do you like? What's your team?
Florida State.
Well, yeah, that's right. You refuse to watch NFL or something.
I bet on. So
okay.
Florida State's my
But
squad.
the Raiders, you're going to adopt the Raiders when they come.
I will.
I think we had that conversation.
Yeah, I will for sure.
All right.
I have to, right?
Hmm?
Are you going to stay with Frisco, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to stay with Frisco unless I'm somehow attached to the Raiders. You know, like
Well,
if they were to say start a podcast or
yeah, but I mean,
do this
AFC,
show.
NFC team, you can.
I'm going to do that, but I know I'm going to. You know, it's going to be a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But I'm not from the Bay Area, so it's not like I really know much about the rivalry and hating one or the other. Not like USC, UCLA.
Right.
I hate UCLA.
Yeah.
But those, like the Raiders, oh yeah, whatever. I'm a Niners fan, but we'll see.
Yeah, they got some big shoes to fill after what the Knights did.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, they got to come up. I mean, I love Gruden, too. He's a dude I would love to play for. So I think you'll have these guys winning some games.
And that stadium's coming along.
Coming along,
yeah. Close to the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is that going to do for the gym? Is it going to just...
Who knows? Probably drive the rent up even more or something.
Yeah, I know.
Who knows?
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wonder if traffic is going to be different down there.
Could be, but the games are on Sundays.
Oh, so it doesn't bug us. Yeah.
Bug us.
You know who I think is going to be happy? Because I drive down Russell, and they're already promoting it. Crazy Horse 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, what strip club?
You know what I mean?
Hell
Those
yeah.
guys are going to like, that's going to be Raider
What's the
Depot.
one on Dean Martin? That one's even closer.
Hustler.
Yeah.
The 3-star one? Is that what it's called? Yeah,
Oh, wait,
right.
I mean, I think it's Hustler. I don't know.
This one's right across the street.
You have them all mapped out. You know exactly
From the
what
stadium?
roads they're on.
Yeah. It's not.
Fuck,
Crazy
I
Horse
thought that
3
was
is
quick.
still a little bit further down.
No, Crazy Horse 3 is
Crazy Horse 3 is right over
right
there.
across Russell, right?
Yeah, spent a month there one
But
night.
it's across the street from where the stadium is?
Hustler, you'd have to go down Dean Martin. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, 70,000 people are going to pour out.
There's only one way to find out, because we got to go today, guys.
That's it. Hey,
half of them
bring
are
your
going to cash their
ticket
tickets,
stub.
and the losers are going to be like, let's go get lap
Bring
dances.
your ticket stub, get a free lap dance, and you're going to crush that place.
Yeah.
Literally.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You defeated Jamie Moyle, another Vegas-based fighter.
Yeah.
Although I think she had said she had been doing some camping outside, but
She was the alpha male,
She
too.
moved to California, went to alpha male.
Right. How good did that feel? International Fight Week, biggest card of the year.
It's still doesn't feel real in a way, just because it was like such a build up. I found out about the fight mid-April, and so it was just kind of quite the build up to that. And then being on that card, I was really excited for that card, and then to be thrown on the card was pretty insane. And
You were an underdog as well.
And I was the underdog.
You proved a lot of the experts wrong, the guys that set the lines. And
Yeah. So, and I knew that I, had the potential to do that, and it was about living up to my potential, and so like that just was a really important fight for me. I've gone out and I haven't really performed up to the best of my abilities, and like that's what has been hard for me, is performing like I do in the gym. And so this fight for me was really about like going out there and like giving myself and my coaches like what we deserve, like, because it's hard when you put all this good work in the gym and then you go out there and it just doesn't show. And so it's like for this fight, like this was the first time that I was actually able to go out there and really show like what I have.
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think just, growing up and learning more after every fight, and I think just like letting go of like some shit that I had that I didn't know I had, and just like really like simplifying it and not thinking about like the before and after, and just everything that goes into it, just letting all of that go and just realizing that's part of the process. And at the end of the day, it's me and another girl for 3 5-minute rounds, like that's all. And so I think having my friend Fanny come in and help me spar, so a girl that I don't train with on a daily basis, and just kind of getting that like new girl vibe every time I sparred, and like really just like help me simplify it. And like that's all it was with Jamie, is like I'm just going to fight another girl for 3 5-minute rounds.
Do you, and to be clear, you feel like you just didn't perform on fight night, or would you say your camps also weren't up to the par that you want them to be?
No, I usually had pretty good camps. Like I would have really good camps,
so it's just
and then like
on fight night.
Yeah, performance on fight night. And so I do think my fight with Jillian, I went out there and I was performing, and I think I did just get caught up in something there. And so like that was kind of the fight where I'm like, this was a test. Like I know that like I put so much into that camp, and I felt so good mentally going in there. And so I think that was like kind of my test. Like, okay, you're at this point where you're about to do really well, but we're gonna test you one more time and then see how that goes. And so I just got right back in the gym right after that, and I just knew that that wasn't like the end of the road for me, and I just knew I had to get this win, and like I wasn't letting that go, especially on that card. I wanted to be on that card so bad, and like it just was my night. I knew it. How
much time have you taken off, and are you already back at it, or are you still decompressing?
No, I'm still decompressing. My hands were pretty messed up after the fight. Actually, I think I like broke a finger, and so my hands have been hurting.
Which one?
This middle one.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad though, right?
No.
So no surgery or nothing like that?
No, I'm finally able to bend it now. Like the first week, and I couldn't bend it. And then last week I was gone working out in Montana, and it was more of like a play vacation kind of work. And so then now I'm back this weekend. My boyfriend will fight this weekend, and then I'll be back next week.
Can we ask what type of work that is in Montana? Or?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I travel with a girl sometimes, and I help train her.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
She's like a, I don't know.
Say it.
Wait a minute.
We let it tell him? Say it.
I know. I don't want to say it because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging or something.
It's
Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Demi Lovato, I'm one of her training partners sometimes. So when I'm able to and when she needs, I'll go out and I'll train with her. And so she was out in Montana, and they wanted me to go out there, and I got so lucky I got invited on that trip. I was super thankful Randy hit me up to go on that, actually, because like the week before the fight, I had yelled at a referee and he saw me, and then my like post-fight speech with Vinny, I was like, he's probably thinking like, who is this girl? I don't want her around my clients. And then so like
you don't think Randy knows about crazy blondes?
I know, right?
That's all he fucking knows.
So then I was able to go out there. We stayed on this like beautiful house on the lake and was just like having fun. And so I just do mitt work with her, and there was actually an MMA gym up there, and so we were able to do like a little bit of ground stuff. And so like not totally out of, not doing anything, but just kind of letting my body heal a little bit.
So this is where we ask, is Demi Lovato any good? And usually we hear, oh yeah, they're great, but for real, or?
For real, that girl can hit.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, no, and she does have good movement.
She's a huge MMA fan, man.
She is, and she actually like she's really good about asking questions, and she'll know like if she did something off, and she'll be like, okay, what should I do to fix this? So no, she is. It's like really enjoyable training her.
I was gonna guess like WWE, like maybe you're training someone WWE, and
I think I saw her on Demi's Instagram once or something. That's why I kind of knew, or I had heard of it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear? Not to sidetrack for a sec here. WWE just announced an all women's pay-per-view. Amazing,
Weird.
huh?
Smart.
Yeah. An all women's pay-per-view for the World Wrestling Entertainment people.
I didn't know that.
Huge. Yeah, that a lot of the females are coming out and saying what a historical night that will be. But I applaud the WWE for having that type of vision, for rolling the dice like that, because let's face it, man, those divas over the past few like 10 years, they've just now they become some of the bigger stars on the stable. The WWE's recognized it. It seems like the WWE's always been a little bit of a step ahead of the UFC in terms of those types of decisions. I don't know that we would ever have an all-female UFC card, although we've had a co-main event and main event.
Yeah.
With Ronda in the past.
I can see maybe
the whole card might be tough.
Yeah, but I think that would like really. I don't know. I like the way that they're trying to like blend it and really make it the same. Like women's MMA is really different than men's MMA, and really keeping us as a group together. And I think doing like a split card like that, like kind of like, like promotes that we're different. And I like that we're like all blended in together. And like, I think it's just better for the sport if we're all blended.
I noticed every card had one female fight on it, and then lately there's been a couple. And then a lot of the females would complain, hey, it's been 8 months. I haven't gotten a call, and I'm healthy. I don't know what the deal is. So they just weren't having as much activity as the male.
I've noticed that too lately.
Though.
Yeah, me too. I was really surprised that me and Jamie were the only girl fight on 226. I was really surprised by that. And then I think there was only 2 other girl fights during fight week. So all of fight week, there was only 3 girl fights. So I thought that was pretty weird.
Yeah.
You talked about how much you wanted to be a part of that weekend. And I started thinking about, especially for you as a coach, you had a lot of fighters that weekend. What was the mindset of the gym, yours? A bunch of highs and lows, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like we do a really good job of keeping everything together, to be honest with you. If I'm flustered, I feel like everybody else is flustered. So I just feel like I have to be able to communicate well, delegate well. I didn't have to worry too much about Em at all because, you know, Johnny, her boyfriend, had pretty much her weight cut handled. She had Dennis. I had Brad and Uriah to handle. So, but once we communicate that, and that's, to me, is always the key, is just communication. Like, I talked to her weeks before. Hey, what do you think you're going to need for your weight cut? I'm going to be squared away. I have blah, 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 blah. Cool. So I know M's good to go. And then just talking to Uriah and talking to Brad, where do you need me? Where do you need this person? And then you just have a kind of I guess, a game plan set in your head on where I need to be and what times. And then with Uriah and Brad, them fighting, you know, Brad fighting on Friday, Uriah on Saturday. Hey, let's do everything at the gym. You'll be at this time. You'll be at this time. And everything, I thought, went really smooth, you know. So
do you kind of like it that way?
It was tough being home because on the road, I just have one focus, and that's just my fighter and making weight. At home, I still have to deal with the gym responsibilities. Stipe came in the whole week, so I was kind of taking care of Stipe and his guys as well. I mean, it wasn't anything difficult, but making sure that they had the cage, they had the proper times, people are leaving them alone, you know, and then obviously my home life responsibilities as well. So it was a little bit chaotic being home for that one, but dude, I love it, man. I just like the grind. Like, I'll be tired, and right after Brad's fight, like, obviously it sucked. We lost. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm still at UMC Hospital. And I woke up that next morning, and my eyes open, and the first thought was her. I was like, hey, I got my girl tonight. Like, let's go. You know, so I just refocused up, and I have to be on point for her, because if I'm not and I show up and that energy's off or she's not feeling it, then, dude, I'm a disservice to her. So, and I know, like, we're very close, so we feed off each other's emotions a lot. We talk a lot, so she'll know, like, right away if something's up. Mm-hmm. And I just knew right when I woke up in the morning, I text her, my fight day, motherfucker, like, it's on. She's like, hell yeah. So, you know, and that was it. We geared up and we went and did our thing. So,
how is Brad doing, by the way?
He's doing good. Uriah. Talked to him yesterday. Both of them are actually doing really well. Uriah, I think, it was just a little bummed in the fact that he felt very close to pulling that fight off, you know, and he fought hard. He fought well. Obviously, our game plan was to stay off the cage, and this guy's finishes were always near the cage or by the cage where he cornered guys. He does a great job at containing. His body work was really good. But when we were out in the open, that's where Uriah is most dangerous. And he was firing that jab. He was looking good. I kind of wanted him to follow up more with his two. But other than that, I mean, dude, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. It was a tough fight. And then Brad's doing good. Brad's got a broken forearm, I think. So he's healing that up. His foot broke in the first round in the fight. Jeez. So, I mean, it was a war for him, that scrap.
A couple of people that we were in the audience and a couple of people that we were sitting with noticed that in the Uriah fight, the low blows really seemed to kind of like slow him down a little bit.
Dude, and that guy kills me, man, that ref. He fucking kills me.
Who refed it?
Mark Smith.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, so, like, here's the thing. And you can't, it's hard. Like, you can't blame something, but when you warn somebody for the low blow, he warned the guy the first time. He walked over, he pulled the translator up, warned him for the low blow. And then he gets eye poked a couple times, and then he gets uppercutted in the balls, and then walks over. And I'm like, okay, you're taking a point, right? You've already warned this dude. This is twice in the first round. At what point do you take a point away? And then he's now having an exchange with me in the corner during the time of the rest. I'm like, bro, you have to take a point. You can't warn the guy. And then it's like if my kid does something and I tell him don't do that, and then they do it again and I don't reprimand them, then I'm the asshole, you know? So you're just promoting bad behavior. And then when we get into the corner, instead of going over to his corner and saying, look, if you do it again, whatever the infraction might be, he comes over to our corner, takes our time away while we're trying to get our guy to rest, and is yelling or saying, you guys need to calm down, and I'm the ref. And he's just always that kind of entitled guy where if you watch that dude ref, he always has to some point make it about himself in every fight. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He has to interject himself somewhere along the lines. He's just that kind of dude, man. So, you know, I get to the point now where these guys all kind of want to be friends and chummy and whatever else. And, hey, can I train to the gym? Can I come? I'm not asking for favors. But, again, it's like if this is the hard line that we're going to set, it's either no, you can't train at our gym. You can't come in. We're not pals. And you do your fucking job when you're as a ref. Like the best guy in the sport my opinion, Jason Herzog, man.
I freaking
He was
love
just
him.
on I did a top 5 ref list.
Jason Herzog,
Except
dude.
Mark Smith came in 5th.
Oh, why?
And
well, because I don't watch every fight and keep the memory of what they did or whatever. It's just an overall body of how they're conducting
if you watch
themselves.
Herzog, he does
such
a good job.
Dude, he's a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
He's a fly on the wall.
Herb Dean was 2.
Herb Dean's great too.
Goddard was 3.
There's a lot. These guys are in a position where I get it, man. They're in a tough spot. It's a pressure moment. Like, love Dan Murgliata. Love the guy. He fucked up in the PFL fight. He fucked up.
Is that the one with
Almeida and Seiler?
Thiago Tavares?
No, Almeida and Seiler this past Thursday.
Seiler, okay.
Seiler had him in a guillotine. He was fine. Almeida was fine. Just never checked him. Pulled him off. Didn't ask if he's okay. Didn't shake his arm. And Almeida's head was like crowning. So, I mean, anybody knows, like in a guillotine, your head starts to crown. You're damn near out. And I think he had already fought the hands. He was passing a half guard. Like, there was a number of things that when you look at from there, you're like, okay, he's fine. And Murgliata stopped it, you know. And thank God, like, Almeida still makes the tournament and everything else. But, you know, that cost him his win bonus. Possibly. Could have. Mm-hmm. So I get it. And these dudes are human. They're going to make mistakes. But when you consistently make the sport about you and not the fighters and not the craft, then, dude, you're just another fucking fan in the cage.
Are you saying vocal refs?
Not even vocal. Like, you just it's tough to explain, but you can just see the entitlement.
Well, hold on to that thought. Let's take this break, and I want to talk about it because I had my list.
Okay.
And I actually like the vocal refs, the ones that are communicating to the fighters what he's asking of them and what he needs before he stops the fight.
Right.
But I want to make sure if that's what you're thinking or if you're thinking of something else.
Okay.
Because when I talked about it on the show, some of the feedback I got was they don't like some of the fighters that they seem to make it about themselves because they're being so vocal or something like that. And I was like, I don't know that that's their intent. But anyway, we'll be right back. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, Rush 93. the rules I was breaking without telling me what the rules were.
Do what they
Can't do
say.
that. Tell me what the
Your
rules
life
are.
will be a lot better. Here are gorgeous.
Tell me how to play the
and
game
Ghost.
before I start playing it.
Exactly. NBA Radio is your headquarters for all things basketball this summer, from free agency signings to trade rumors and social media gossip. Whether it's happening on or off the court this season, we're discussing it on NBA Radio Series 207, XM86, and streaming on your phone or at home on Sirius XM, connected devices and speakers. All right, let's finish Ref Talk real fast. Explain the entitled or comment?
So I think it's a fine line. I think communication is great in certain spots in certain area. So for example, let's say like a guy like Herzog. I'm in top sides control or I'm in guard and he wants to see a little bit more action.
He did this to me in my fight.
A little bit more action, fighter. You know, that communication. Hey, if you're not moving, I'm going to stand you up. Hey, if you don't move here, I'm going to finish the fight. That's the kind of communication I think that's valid. But when you have to interject yourself where it's things that really don't matter, or fingers, boom, this, bad, boo, hey, you know, oh, tape, you know, it's just the way he carries himself, man. Like, there's a big difference in watching refs when you see guys like Herzog, Big John, you know. I think Mark Goddard's a freaking phenomenal ref.
Yeah.
You know, there's some really, really top-level refs. And then there's guys that, oh, the fucking camera's on? Here's a fucking hand sign. You know, hey, kids. Like, no, bro, it's not about you. It's about the two people that are in the cage. You're supposed to be the fly on the wall. You know, and right away when you get the guy fucking, you know, you're like, oh, this dude's a fucking dork. You know, it's not about him or her. It's about, you know, it's about the fighters.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. 866-522-2846, by the way, if you want to call in. Sorry, Brandon, I was going to take your call and got distracted here a little bit with this chat about the referees. All right, so I wanted to ask you, can you share a good street fight story with us?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, she did the who me thing. That's what I go to. If you ever have to buy time,
little old me,
just go, who, me? And I'll buy you 5 seconds.
Okay, cool, I got that.
Talking to me?
You know, I got quite a few, and that's really unfortunate. Man, I don't even know if I want to share any of these with you guys.
Why not?
Dark point in my life. Oh my gosh! Now you got this on your phone. Now I'm getting all
What's
shy
going on
and
the story
embarrassed. Okay.
Street
You
fighting.
might as well tell us the best story now.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you the last one. I don't think it's the best story. So a friend of mine did something, or she wasn't really a friend of mine, more like an acquaintance that I knew. This isn't even a good one. I don't know if I should say that one. Anyways, I punched a girl at the bar.
Wait,
I knew
you
her.
gotta set it up.
Come on. Horrible story.
So you're at the bar. Are you a patron or were you working?
I was a patron.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
I saw a friend of mine that I had not been getting along with for a point of time, and so then she had came over and said something to me, and then I had one too many, and so then I had proceeded to get up and then throw.
Now we're at do we have a problem stage?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a problem. Yeah, and so then I ended up throwing a few shots, and then I left right after that. So it really wasn't like a very big fight. I just punched her in the face a few times, and then it was like that Tuesday. This I think
Is
was
she
like
also a
Saturday.
fighter?
No, not a
Okay.
fighter. And
But she came aggressive.
Yeah.
Like as if she wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'd punched her in the face a few times. I'd left. This is like 2 days later. I get a knock on my door after I get home from work, and it's the sheriff. So, yeah. Unfortunately for me, I ended up going to jail that night. I had to get bailed out. I ended up pleading guilty to some assault charges, and I got 2 years probation. I had to go to jail for 5 days. I did it in like 12-hour blocks though, which was super weird because they were like overcrowded. Yeah, so they were overcrowded. So what they did, I went to jail from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. So just a 12-hour block. So what I did is I would get out at night and I would go work out and like try and stay up all night, and then I would just go in there in the morning and then I would just sleep all day. And so I did this for 5 days. Ended up getting 2 years probation from it.
You slept in jail the whole time?
Yeah, I just slept the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was maybe
bologna sandwiches.
No, I didn't eat when I was in there. That was like my main goal. I was like, I'm just gonna fill up like so
Yeah.
much. But it was like
You don't eat, you don't poop. Those are the 2 rules.
That's it, bro.
I was in a holding cell though for those 12 hours, and so there was girls coming in off the streets the whole time. And I remember there was one time I woke up and there was literally like 20 girls in the holding cell, and like this is just a little tiny cell. There's like girls all over the floor and stuff, and I'm just like sprawled out on like one of the concrete benches, just passed out. So that was awful. And then I did like anger management and stuff after that, and yeah, then I got over that, and then I moved here right after that.
I've never heard of that. Have you?
What?
Can you imagine just being at home? Someone goes, "Hey, I'll be right back. I go to
Like
jail.
I
I'll be
know.
back
I know.
later. You want anything?"
I was the only one driving myself there too. I was like, I don't belong here. I'm like, why am I here? It was really dumb.
Such a gentle little hippie.
I know.
And what was jail like? Did anybody give you attitude there, or
No, I was actually doing the 12-hour blocks with this like really cool girl. Apparently she was like, I can't believe we're talking about this.
She was just meth head. She was real super cool.
She was a heroin junkie, but she was really hilarious. And so she actually kind of made the time a little bit more enjoyable just because of how hilarious she was. She was just like such a mess and so all over the place. And like she was in there because she kept stealing Tide laundry soap.
The Tide Pods?
Like the big things, because I guess they're like pretty expensive. So then she could trade them for like a few hits or whatever. I'm not sure the way the whole process worked. Yeah, so it was just like I think that's why this one stuck out so much is because like it was literally just so much shit over just something so dumb and little, and it was like really like I was really upset about it because I was just like I was drunk. I shouldn't have punched the girl, but I did anyways, and like I just ended up having to go to jail and like
what was the
all
beef
this
about?
stuff.
Was it like guy stuff or?
She had just done something dumb, and then I was mad about it, like just like pride and like I don't know, just really stupid. So yeah. Just dumb.
Wow.
I don't think I've gotten anything since I moved to Vegas and like.
Which means there's been one.
No, I don't think so.
Oh no, none.
No.
Okay.
No, there hasn't been anything. I did chase someone out of Throwing Revives one time. They like
That's
gave me a
awesome.
bad card and I chased them down, and then like brought their friends back because they took off. But nothing like
She's the
nothing
whip.
bad.
And then how about you? You have a three angry wife story?
Oh fuck! I got too many of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, give us a quick one because we only have 2 minutes before the break.
Oh, dude.
How do we spin this portion on this?
We ask every in-studio guest a street fight story.
Okay, noted.
So
I should have came up with a better one before.
No, yeah.
We still have an hour to go. If you want to tell another one?
I don't know which one's the good one to tell without incriminating myself, but yeah.
Well, pick one from like over 10 years ago. I think that's the rule, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so one night my barback and I I went to go to the bathroom. I was in the urinal, and then he's in the other urinal, the barback, and then this guy comes out of the stall and just kicks the door down. Like I'm
the
coming
stall
out,
door.
the stall door, just boom, right? And we're both like going to the bathroom, like we're both peeing, and I look back, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You just kicked the door down. And he comes like running over, and I'm kind of like in the corner part where the stall door would be, and then the urinal, so I'm kind of wedged in. And he's like, what? And just kicks me in the back.
As you're pissing?
Pissing, pants down, dick in hand, smash into the back of the thing, and I just start giggling. I was like, this fucking idiot. So at the time, this is back when we had like the metal paper towel thing on there. So just turned around, hit him with the right, grabbed him and put him into the paper towel thing. No, nothing, just pants down and everything. So I'm still kind of peeing, beating this dude up.
This is gross.
Nick Byer was the barback at the time. Nick's just like, holy shit. Choke him out, and then that's where the
stream didn't stop. You're actually peeing.
I'm
as all
like
this
trying to
is
pull my
happening?
pants up and just pee, and it's like, bro, you're gonna hit me right here. You're gonna get pissed on now.
Right.
Like that was kind of the point.
Okay.
That was kind of the point. So ended up choking this dude out, and then where the back door was, where the side exit is, I just pulled him out there and pulled him out to the side. Then he had been sitting in the lounge, and his girlfriend was there.
I gotta cut you off.
Go.
Tell us that in the second hour. All
Nah,
right, we'll be back. We'll finish things up
That's
here.
it. That's the end of it.
It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. Cub Swanson on the way.
what movie this is from, George?
Yes, I believe the movie Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
What does it go? Can't say I have.
It's like 1999. So it's
I
kinda
don't
old.
have a new homework assignment.
I'm not a movie person. I'm actually really bad at movies, and like everyone thinks I'm super obnoxious because of it.
Really?
Yeah, like I haven't seen Casino, and like I know, right? There's
That is
like
pretty
some big-
obnoxious.
I know,
This
right?
is Vegas. You got to get that one at least.
I
under your
know,
belt.
I know.
All right, we're back. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Don't talk movies with Emily Whitmire. She just doesn't do movies. She's already put that out. Yeah, that was the movie Go, and it has a young Katie Holmes in it, right? Also Jane Moore. It's a good movie. It's solid. I like it. Wait. Yeah. That's the one with Go, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I'm confusing it with something else, but I can't believe I got it right. All right. Joining us now on the hotline, we're going to put the Xtreme Couture fighters and coach on a quick timeout. They'll become our co-hosts here as we welcome Cub Swanson to the show. Cub is going to be mixing it up with Renato Moicano at UFC 227, which features TJ Dillashaw defending his bantamweight title against Cody Garbrandt. That's part 2 there for those guys. Demetrius Johnson, he defends his flyweight title against Henry Cejudo. That's also part 2. What's up, Cub Swanson? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Welcome back to MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George and Goes, and we also have Eric Nicksick, the general manager of Xtreme Couture here, and UFC strawweight Emily Whitmire. So listen, man, we're pumped up. You know, LA is our home base, so we're going to be going back in a few weeks to catch these fights. How you feeling, Cub? I mean, you're in your 20s now as far as like WEC, UFC. I mean, do you even still get as excited about all this, or has it become more about like it's just a night of work for you? It's more like a business transaction. You show up and fight, they give you a check, you go home.
Yeah, it's kind of in between. Some days I get nervous like a rookie, and some days I'm like, oh man, I've done this a million times. So, you know, working with like a sports psychologist for a few years, it's really helped me just kind of like take that in and process it better and not let it like, you know, freak me out or anything like that. So when the nerves come, it makes me more excited more than anything.
If I can ask here about the nerves, what is it more based about? Because you have 25 wins, and again, you've been fighting at the highest level for a long time. You have Fight of the Night awards. You have, I think, a couple Fight of the Year awards. You whooped some ass over some major guys. You've been top 5 in the world for such a long time. So I don't think you fear another man. Is it just the loss itself, or where does most of your anxiety come from?
Yeah, the performance, because you can go out there and you can have the greatest fight of your night or of your life that night, and you could also have, you know, kind of a dud, you know. And you know, for my last fight, for instance, you know, I felt like I did some things really well. I didn't really feel like I had a lot of time to prepare for the fight, but considering the time frame I had and what I accomplished in the fight, I was happy. But I didn't get the win, and then I came home to, you know, seeing a lot of social media about people saying just negative things, and that's kind of what you don't want. You're like, man, that's not a performance I wanted to put out. I wanted to have an amazing performance. So, yeah, it's always stuff we put on ourselves and expectations we put on ourselves. So that's always the biggest battle. You know, ourselves is our biggest battle.
He's got 8 or 9 Fight of the Nights, by the way. And no matter what, Cub, even when you've come up short, your fights always deliver, bro. It sucks that those 2 words, social media, can be so poisoning in our sport. And I hope those don't bring you down too much, Cub, because I always tell people that's like it's like 1% of like 1%. There's so many people out there that cheer for you guys and really respect what you guys do, but for some reason the negativity is what pops out. You know what I mean when you check social media.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I fought Jens Pulver in WEC, that was the first time people actually hated me for no reason, and I just didn't understand. I was like, you know, I felt like somebody faked an injury. I called him out on it. He kind of flipped it on me, turned me into the bad guy. And then all of a sudden, these people hated me, and it took me years and years to like be able to understand that it doesn't matter, and it's just their opinion, and people are just not going to like you. You know, so that was a long learning experience for me, but you know, now I don't care. I just go out there and do what I love, and appreciate that I'm out there chasing my dream at the highest level.
Cub Swanson, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He's fighting Renato Moicano in a couple weeks out in Los Angeles. It's UFC 227 on August 4th. Goes, what do you have for Cub Swanson?
Cub, I'm going to switch it a little bit to a more positive side with fans and just people in general. You got a mural painted after you back in SoCal. I think Timothy Bradley as well.
Palm Springs, yeah.
Yeah. So a guy that we went to high school with owns this gym, and he got chubby after school, and he kind of looked up to me and Tim, just what we were doing, and he had like a whole total body transformation, and he has his own little gym and trains a bunch of people that we went to high school with, and super cool guy. And he wanted to paint the side of his building, and he just was thinking, man, it'd be cool to do like a Legends wall of Tim and Cub and give them, you know, a lot of respect for what they've done for the community and the impact. And so he went the hard route, went through the city, and you know, the city paid for it and approved it, and took about a year and a half, and they're painting it right now. It's almost done. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be recognized in our city, and especially that little part of town is kind of the rougher part of the whole area. So, you know, to be able to be on a wall and have kids see me and think like, man, maybe I could do that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, you've always been inspirational. I know you used to speak to children a lot at juvenile hall and stuff. I've seen you do a lot of that stuff. And speaking of kids, I know the Swanson clan has grown even bigger now, and I was thinking about this. There's going to be a point where they're going to want to see some of your fights. If they asked you, you know, Daddy, can we see one of your fights, which would be the one that you pull out?
Well, so far it's going to have to be the duo Troy fight, because that seems to be everyone's favorite. But hopefully I'll be topping that. You know, maybe it'll be the Moicano fight. Maybe that'll be my masterpiece.
There you go. All right, Eric Nicksick from Xtreme Couture. He's got a question for you. Eric, what do you have for Cub Swanson?
Cub, what's it like now training with Sam at Training Lab? What has that done for your career?
Well, it's been tough, but amazing.
Yeah.
Part of the reasons I moved out to California and just decided to, you know, take that, you know, another step in my career, another chapter, is because I didn't want to leave my family anymore, traveling out to New Mexico all the time. And that was becoming difficult. And I saw the opportunity of, you know, having science behind our training.
Right.
And I truly believe we're the most science and math-based team.
And you guys are doing a lot of HRV as well?
Yeah, we're doing everything. We're doing, you know, calculating our heart rate and when we sleep, and seeing our recovery and how much oxygen we're taking in, and he just does so many things like that. A lot of the stuff he doesn't want out there, but everything is legit and through Jeff Novinsky, and but the biggest thing is I'm 34 now, and I'm thinking ahead in the future, and it's like if I start to slow down, which I haven't yet, but if I start to slow down, I need to be smarter about how I train, and I want to be more efficient and not work harder. So just having him with all this stuff telling me, okay, go now, okay, pull back now, it's really showing me new levels of peaking.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to use that quite a bit, and Gray Mater and myself used it for a couple of his camps. So just curious, I mean, you've been around the sport a long time, and just the evolution of the science behind it, I feel like Sam's kind of on the cutting edge of that.
Yeah, and just the eating too, that's a big part of it. Eating, the supplements he has us taking, the right times. Man, it's a full-time job.
For sure.
But some of the breathing techniques that we use, it's tough. Sometimes I go to bed and I'm like, man, I have to do 40 minutes of this breathing stuff, and I have to take all my vitamins and make this shake and do this and prepare for the morning and help put the baby down. So it's a lot of work, but you know, everybody that's on the team, that's on the full program, you know that's how dedicated they are. You know, and nobody on the team is half in it. You know what I mean?
I think that's the hardest part when you hear criticism about what you do in the ring or in the cage, that people don't get to see what actually goes into an 8-week training camp and what you guys put yourselves through, and not only yourselves but your family. So, bro, I've always been a big fan, man. I love watching you scrap, so I can't wait to see you get in there again.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, what was the biggest wake-up call that he had about food? Like, is there something he totally removed from your diet or added to that, you know, you were either pleased with it or displeased with it?
Barbecue chicken pizza.
No, yeah, I've had barbecue chicken pizza. They make everything that we're eating is pretty much grain-free, using all these different flours, you know, almond flour, cassavana flour, I think it's called. I'm probably butchering that one. But all these different flours that they use, basically grain-free, but, you know, high in good fats, which trips me out. I actually eating bacon like 3 days before my fight, which really trips me out. But, you know, there's a method to it, and really what your body's doing with the fats, and, you know, helping your testosterone naturally and things like that. So he always explains it, but you talk to him too long, it goes over your head, so you just got to take a little bit at a time.
All right, we also have UFC strawweight Emily Whitmire here with us co-hosting. Emily, what do you have for Cub?
Hey, Cub. I actually met you a couple years ago in Vegas it was like a big world amateur event. I showed you around for a little bit. But anyways, I wanted to ask you, are you eating any vegetables like the last week of your cut? Or are you doing like a high-fat, high-protein diet?
Yeah, I remember that was a fun event.
Right? Pretty cool, huh? I'm sad they're not doing them in Vegas anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, the coolest thing about that event was seeing all the amateurs from all over the world. It kind of reminded me of the origins of MMA, about style versus style. So if you had people from a certain country, you'd know that they would have a judo background or a kickboxing background, you know. So I thought that was really unique. But going back to the question, I am eating a lot of vegetables fight week. Those are the good carbs. But, yeah, we're definitely trying to get the body to perform more on fats over carbs, and we are trying to get the protein in. But I'd say probably eating more sweet potato and broccoli than anything.
That's not bad. I can do those
Sweet
too.
potatoes are delicious. They get me through a weight cut every time.
All right.
A little cinnamon on them. Oh, yeah.
And we're allowed to have butter, like real
good grass-fed butter, yeah.
And so butter on a sweet potato and a little bit of honey. I'm like,
and bacon? Are you sure you're not getting the wool pull over here?
Right, you're living it up.
That sounds like my diet. Yeah.
I used to take a handful of spinach and bite a lemon, and then go do my whole day of workouts and, you know, fight week. So yeah, different story nowadays. So I'm actually lifting more than I've ever lifted, and I'm skinnier right now. I'm already in the high 50s right now.
Nice.
Attaboy. All right. All right, Cub, let me leave you with one of the silly questions that we've always done for the past 12 years we've covered you. So by now you got to be driving a pretty slick car, right? What do you drive?
Infiniti Q60 Red Sport.
Okay. You forget to pay the insurance, lapse, and your car gets stolen. What would be worse, that, meaning you completely lost the car, you're not covered, or when they go do the official unveiling of the mural, Cub Swanson, it's spelled with a K instead of a C?
Man, both would really irritate me. I got friends. I think losing the car would be worse. I got friends that would jump up there and fix it for me.
Fix it for you. All right. Good stuff, man. Hey, man, thank you very much for allowing us to catch up with you here. I know you got the hard workouts up ahead of you here before you start to taper off before UFC 227 next week. So thanks again for squeezing us in. We always have a blast with you, and keep doing your thing, my man.
I appreciate you guys always. I hope you guys will watch next Saturday. I'll be ready.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
I hope you watch. Shit. Hell yeah, we're going to watch. This guy's a savage, man. He's got 9 fight of the nights. It sucks that people
good
bring him
fight,
down
too.
on social media. Win or lose, his fights
You know,
are
those-
barn burners.
Those people that are saying negative stuff on social media, they don't have anything else going on in their lives. Like the people that think good things and love you, those are the people that see you walking out after the fight and they're like, "Oh, hey man, I love you." Like they see you in the, lobby at the hotel, and it's the people that are saying the bad stuff that see you in the hotel lobby and they don't say a word.
Yeah.
They let you walk past and then they get on their phone and they
fucking
go
phone.
say something shady. So it's like those people, they literally have nothing else to do with their lives. Like if I don't like somebody and I see them on TV, I don't go out of my way to say something bad to them because I got too much going on.
Yeah.
So it's like the people that are out there doing that stuff, they don't have anything going on, and it's just sad. It really is.
I love intense fans. I don't even mind. I mean, if it's enough, like let's say it was to the point where you're playful with someone and there's respect. Man, our team's gonna kick your team's ass or blah blah blah, whatever. And then at the end, I love it when someone goes, "Your guy got me."
Yeah.
Or your guy got my guy.
It was all fun.
Fist bump and congrats to you. And I'm your
loser.
fan going forward. But for now, I had to stand with my guy.
Right.
But I don't like the ones that just sit idle and then just wait for someone to lose.
Right. And then hit it. Yeah.
At least just be consistent. Stand by your guy, but give respect to the other person.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could hate Cub anyways.
Dude,
like you said, like the guy puts on good fights every time he
all
fights.
the time. And the guy, he's got like a metal plate in his face.
Yeah.
Like this dude.
And his hands.
And his hands. Like the dude is he's the epitome of a warrior in MMA. And I think that's the hard part is the novice fans. Like you guys are in the gym a couple times a week. You see what goes into it. You see what these men and women go through. You see what these coaches go through. And just to have the audacity to jump on social media.
They go out there and they put their whole life online. They put their health at risk, and they do all of this stuff just to have you shit on them.
No clue.
They have no idea
what
that
they're going through. Or
why didn't you do this? Why didn't they do that? And it's just like you just don't know and you don't understand.
And I think that's the hard part, but it comes with the territory, and that's kind of the beauty, the yin and yang of what we get to do. It's just something
I love constructive, as long as it's constructive but not hurtful.
Yeah.
Because I know I do it, and there's times where my Lakers play like shit, and I'll turn to Goes and say, Brandon Ingram played like shit.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Now, what helps them is because there's so many layers removed from us, and by that I mean they are millionaires. You know what I mean? Whereas in our sport, it's still growing, and so so much hinges on that win bonus, and could you get cut, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, back in the day, it was even like when I first started with Randy 11 or 12 years ago, the only line of communication really was fan mail. Like, here you go. Now, I mean, you can get a hold of anybody that you want. You can say whatever you want to on any platform, per se, unless you get blocked, But other than that, I mean, there's just so much that goes into an 8-week camp, or even more leading up to that. Like, I felt like her fight wasn't an 8-week camp. I felt like this is something that we've been building up for since her last fight, and things we practice and the mentality, the mental side of things. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, the video I posted is like one of my favorite moments of all time is after every pad session, I made her run over and jump in my arms and pick her up and carry her around the cage after every pad session. And like the first time she's like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "I want you to feel this experience because this is what we're going to do in the cage." And then like it was probably the second time when you're like, "I believe it. Like this is going to happen." Like there was nothing else in the world that was going to change that. So every time we got done, get over here, fucking pick her up, walk her around. So when the fight was over, like we had that moment of, "Come here, fucker," and she jumps in my arms, and no one will ever know. Like to the outside perspective, it was just a coach picking up his fighter and walking around the cage. But that's something we actually trained for. Like I wanted her to see herself in that position, and God willing, it had happened. So like little things like that, like people just don't get to see from what we get to do on a day to day. And that kind of builds that relationship.
Let's take a couple quick calls here. We got Brandon in Louisville to start things off. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Hey guys, got some breaking news for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. Congratulations to homie and Carla Duran. Loser. Baby Nicholas was born today.
Oh, wow. All right, yeah. Stitch Duran's daughter, Carla Duran, had a baby.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
And happy birthday to you.
I mean, it's not as important anymore. We got a new junkie.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, this guy, I was going to send him something too.
How old are you today, Brandon?
36.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Since we're on the topic of birthdays, I got a little bit of a stun gun. I know it's a day late, but figured you'd give it to me.
Let's hear it.
So, somehow, it became a big story that Dana White... I don't know why it matters that Dana White spent $1 million for his son's birthday party. I don't know why it has any correlation to what the last fight card's total payroll was. Wasn't using UFC funds to pay for this. He was using his own money that he earned and he worked for. So why does it have to be Dana White paid $1 million for his son's birthday party, but he's only paying the fighters this much? He's not paying the fighters anything. The company is. So a stun gun to the media for portraying this bullshit type of story.
I don't know if the media painted that picture, though. At least anything on our site. I think it was just a story of the UFC president threw a $1 million party for his son's 16th birthday. But unless you're talking about the comments that may have followed, or if it was tweeted, maybe people that posted that, I could see that, because as we were speaking earlier, fans can be venomous. But yeah, man, that dude, he made about $400 million from selling these, UFC under Zuffa to what is now Endeavor. So through IMG, what is it?
WME
IMG. So he banked about $400 million. He can do whatever he wants with that $400 million. The whole other topic, should fighters get paid more? Of course they should get paid more, but that's aside from the investment he made and anything else that he has going on. And the tough thing is the fighters are going to have to bring it up to Endeavor, but Endeavor's not the one. Endeavor's the one that paid $4 billion for it. The Fertittas are the ones that made $4 billion off of it. I think fighters would be wise to collectively bargain going forward so that they can get a bigger cut of the pie, like we see in other sports. But they just can't seem to get together.
Yeah, don't get it wrong. I totally believe the fighters need and should get paid more. But just because Dana has money doesn't mean that one doesn't relate to the other.
Right on, man. All right, thank you very much for the call. Happy birthday again. Well, that guy needs a Red Bull or something, right? Marco from Waco. What's up, Marco?
Marco from Waco. ¿Qué pasa, vatos and lady?
¿Qué pasa?
Hey, Emily, let's talk about some movies.
Movies? Oh, man.
That's not her strength.
You didn't hear. That's not my strength at all.
At all, Emily? Like, did you have a run when you were younger? Anything?
No.
No boys ever said, let's go to the movies, or your family, or
No, I
girls' night? Nothing?
No.
Okay, do you like music?
I do like music, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a hard time paying attention to movies. I always have too many questions. Like, why is this going on? Like, who's that? Where did they come from? Like, the most annoying person ever to watch a movie
worst
from.
Movie date?
Yeah, worst movie date. I either ask too many questions or I fall asleep. So.
I'm just teasing. Hey, I don't know, why don't we not talk about...
But hang on a second. So, like, Titanic and, like...
I've seen Titanic.
Oh, I was going to say, all of the...
no spoilers.
Harry Potters.
I did see the Harry Potters.
Oh, okay. I thought you just don't
so
see
bad.
movies.
Yeah. I got Titanic,
the classics, like Pulp Fiction or...
Goodfellas, Casino. You haven't seen Casino, right?
Yeah.
Mission Impossibles.
No.
Are they really impossible, though? Aren't they, like, on 6 now? He's lived through 6 of these impossible missions.
Mission kind of impossible.
Yeah.
Right, rename the movie.
Right. It should be more like Mission Stressful or something.
Are you a movie guy, Eric?
Not as much as I used to be. I love to see more movies, but I just don't have the time.
I just don't know how people remember movie lines. Like, people will drop them, like, for, like, 20 minutes, like, in a group of people, and they're all going back and forth, and I'm just like, how do you guys
remember? Because they've rewatched it 100 times.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they've rewatched it over and over, and so you... I mean, someone that can do that to all the movies is they're obviously in that field. They're obsessed. Maybe they work, in watching movies all the time. Right. But I know I can quote the ones that I've seen all the time. So there's times where I just want to do work at home and I'll just play a movie so I can hear it over and over. And
right.
But yeah. Wow, it's like, and you think you'll budge on this?
Forrest Gump is my favorite movie. I will throw it out there. Like, I do have a solid classic that's in my toolbox. But what was that question?
Do you think you'll ever budge and become a movie gal? Because like we could literally give her a list of like start with these 100, right?
She travels enough now where we just throw that shit on an iPad.
Yeah. Maybe give.
Or are
me
you
a
more
list.
like, oh, I like Friends and TV shows or documentaries? Like, what?
I like documentaries. I'm a big documentary person.
I see.
That's one thing I like. And but they have to be something about like the environment or like food or something like that. There was actually a really good one I just saw was Sonic Sea, and it went over like all the radio, like the frequencies and stuff that we are putting into the ocean and how it's really affecting like sea life. And I thought that one was super yeah, I had no idea
Sonic
either.
C, the letter C?
Yeah,
oh, no, wait, S-E.
Yeah, Sonic C. And so then it's it was super interesting. Like there was just like about them drilling for like oil wells like off the coast of I think it was somewhere in like New Zealand or something like that. And then they had like a bunch of whales die, and it was because like the frequency is so high.
That sucks.
And that it's really sad because so the frequency is like how they communicate. So we're essentially like copying the whales. Like they put out frequency and then it bounces off of things, and then that's how they know to go there. That's food. Stay away. That's a predator.
Oh.
And so like we're doing the same thing. So we're bouncing sounds through the water and not realizing that that's affecting the whales like to an extreme, and like their brains are bleeding out and stuff. So it's like it's pretty crazy when I watched that documentary and that I didn't have more of a buzz around it. So I'm a documentary junkie.
Okay.
Just not into the movies.
All right, Marco, what else do you got? You want to finish up?
So Nick Newell is fighting tonight.
Yeah.
My opinion is he should have been signed right straight up and not going to a contender series. But let's say he wins tonight, he gets contracted. How do you market this guy? Where do you put him up? What is the push behind him? Because he's a unique story. And also, for the coach, what is so special about Nick Newell's choke that they're like so devastating? He's out.
What was the last thing you said?
What is it about something that's choke?
Oh, it's choke. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much for the call. Well, so tonight he's got a fight, and you just can't win. You have to win and impress because they only give out one contract minimum, but sometimes they go 3 or 4, but you can't bank on that. So you got to go out there and finish. But Nick Newell does get a lot of finishes.
Yeah.
Can you maybe talk about that? What is it that he's so devastating that makes his choke so devastating? And
because it's something that to him, I mean, somebody might see as him being disabled, and to him he's just as able as anybody else. So the way he's been able to kind of articulate on that choke, the way his grip sets, I mean, I've seen him catch guys in our gym. He's been in training with us a number of times. The way he gets a good bite on that grip.
But we were talking about just yesterday, usually when you're trying to fight off the hands, that's something where he would have an advantage.
Sometimes even like with rear nakeds where you go to the short choke or a guillotine where instinctively you're always grabbing at the wrist. Obviously, there's not a wrist being there, so he's getting a good bite on that. He has a very nice Darce choke. So to him, he's just probably over years of crafted and worked on things to where, in my mind, I think he gets a good bite on it to where it's tight, man. Like I've seen him put dudes out.
To break,
hard
like
guys.
No wrist,
exactly.
Like you said,
There's no wrist control. The way he hides the choke arm, he does a great job with it. He's such a good dude, man. Like this is a guy that we're all pulling for. I want to see this dude win. I want to see him get in the show, and he's just an inspiration to everybody, man. I want to see this guy succeed. I want to see him do well.
Do you feel like a win is enough to get him through, or do you think?
I think so. And it's funny that you said that because I actually thought of that this morning because I follow him on social media. We stay in contact still. He came out and trained with us about him. He's been out there a number of times at our gym.
Yeah, I've seen him.
But he's just one of those guys. When I woke up today, I was like, hey man, I think if this guy just wins, he gets in for winning alone. Because his body of work is not 4-0.
They gave him a tough opponent.
Yeah, they're all tough.
Yeah.
His record speaks for itself. I mean, what is his one loss is to Gaethje, I believe. Yeah, So I mean, he's proven it time and time again, and it's not just like some schlub coming in where like even Page's boyfriend, he was 4-0. I can see him not getting the contract, but Nick, I feel like if he wins, he should be in.
I think a finish. For sure he'll be in.
For sure.
Yeah. A decision, if you're up against 4 other finishers, that might be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope he just goes in and does something spectacular, and there's no rhyme or reason why not to put the guy in there.
Now, they asked about marketing going forward, and I'm obviously no marketing expert. But I remember we had him on the show once, and we never once brought up his handicap. And I got tagged on a Facebook post by his, I think it was his then manager, going out of his way to thank us for talking to him like an athlete.
For
and
sure.
not once bringing it up. And then when I looked at the comments, he also chimed in and said it was very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
So, based off that, I would say start off by just Nick Newell won. He's the newest lightweight in our stable.
For sure.
However, I don't know. I don't know if they're marketing people that would say, but that's not how it works. We want to talk about the handicap that he has,
right?
And how he's being able to overcome it. That's a story in itself, And maybe Nick would co-sign on that. I don't know, but I just remember that. And because that was 5 years ago,
at least.
So it could be that it was refreshing because he was always asked about it. Maybe people led with it rather than treating him like an athlete. So I don't know, but I would think that's something that you would want to work with the athlete close and see.
I think when you look at who his inspiration was Jim Abbott, and watching him pitch a no-hitter with one arm and doing all those things, that he's going to be in a position to where there's going to be a lot of other kids with possibly the same so-called handicap, which it doesn't look like a handicap to me with him. Like it's just part of him. But he's going to be an inspiration for this new generation coming up with kids that might have an amputee or disability or something, to where whether he likes it or not, that's something that he's going to have to carry that torch.
Correct me. Should I not be saying handicap?
No, I don't know.
Disability.
Disability. Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
I apologize.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean disrespect.
The dude, at the end of the day,
the
dude can scrap. He puts people away, and that's the bottom line. And
I think
I'm
letting
cheering
that
for him.
market itself, and then just letting people find out about it just by oh crap, wait a minute here, and
that's Nick Newell.
Yeah, or just having that be oh my god, do people know? He only has a half an arm. Let that play out itself instead of using that of why he got there, or marketing that, because that shouldn't be why he got there. It should be his record. The fact that he's gone out there and fought so many times, and just that is just a little side piece of holy shit, man, this guy
is good.
Yeah, this
he's
guy's
legit.
good. Yeah.
I think about Matt Brown. He's the immortal Matt Brown, and there was a show he did years ago. Well, now we're talking about goes when we first started Mandalay Bay, in 2009. And he shared with us how he had near-death experiences because of his abuse, the heroin abuse. And when he came off that show, maybe one of our writers had done a recap, and he didn't like it. He didn't like that all of a sudden people were like, oh, my God, and he felt like it was a strong rush of just, his past, his drug
probably
past.
reliving it.
Right. And but then we had a chat about it, and then he understood, well, that is my story, and if it inspires others or whatever. So I think that's why, again, it's something where you want to talk with the athlete, and like Emily said, I think start off by saying congrats to Nick Newell. He won, and I think obviously that's the story that will come out in itself rather than it being the lead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people are either fed up or they're not prepared for that.
For sure. No, I agree.
You can, this could be life-changing for him tonight.
Yeah.
It all happens tonight, Dana White Contender Series. All right, tell me, commercial time. Let's get this out of the way, and then we'll come back.
So, yeah.
We'll come back and knock out some more calls. We also have today's Daily Debate. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. Also, get in the queue at 866-522-2846. Eric Nicksick and Emily Whitmire in the house.
They can drink Mentos-flavored Diet Coke without their stomachs giving a single fuck. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
The SiriusXM FC ICC Broadcast Fantasy Camp is back. This is your chance to be a part of SiriusXM FC broadcast crew when Real Madrid faces AC Roma in East Rutherford, New Jersey. One grand prize winner and a guest will get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and for 2 nights, 2 tickets to the match, and press box credentials. The winner will get to be on the air, Goes. Can you believe that? As part of the SiriusXM FC broadcast.
Wow.
For official rules, details, and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/ICC Broadcast Fantasy Camp before July 26th. No additional purchase is necessary. All right, guys, we do every day what's called the daily debate. We just tackle a question that's been put out there, and we have our listeners and readers participate. You guys down to participate?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. The question for today, they had no choice, right?
No, not really.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna head out.
With the events announced and the matchup set, who's your pick to win the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix? Ryan Bader, Fedor Emelianenko, Matt Mitrione, or Chael Sonnen. Now, just in case you don't know, Chael Sonnen faces Fedor Emelianenko, and Ryan Bader faces Matt Mitrione. Goes, you go first.
Well, I would think that it's going to be a true heavyweight. I think Ryan Bader is going to give Matt Mitrione a great fight. I think it's whoever comes out of that bracket, but I'm going to lean towards Matt Mitrione on that one.
So Matt Mitrione will beat Bader and then beat the winner of Fedor and Chael. Okay. I think that Fedor is going to beat Chael, and I think Bader is going to beat Mitrione, and I think Bader's going to beat Fedor. So it's not going to be a heavyweight, but that dude's just fighting at a level. When he took out King Mo, I was very, very impressed. So I'm going with Ryan Bader. How about you, Emily?
I got some loyalty here, and so I'm just going to have to go Chael Sonnen. I'm from Oregon. I fought for his promotion in Oregon when I was an amateur coming up. I saw him.
So you think he'll beat Fedor?
Yeah, I just got to go with Chael just because Chael's my guy, Oregon gangster.
Well, who wins between Bader and Mitrione? At least give us that one.
I'm going to go with Bader.
Bader?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How about you, Eric Nicksick?
I'm kind of with her. Like, love Chael, love Coach Clayton. But I think Bader's the one in this whole thing. I really do. I think if Bader gets past Mitrione, which I think he can just due to the wrestling and what we've seen out of Mitrione with how much problems he had with Roy in the wrestling department, I think Bader cruises from there. Okay, and what about Fedor and Chael? If Chael can establish the wrestling game early and stay away, and here's the thing with Chael, if Fedor stands up a couple times, defends a takedown a couple times, that's when you see Chael start to have problems. Right. But if Chael can implement his wrestling and his game plan, dirty box.
That's one thing he's good at, though. I'll give him that. He's committed to his wrestling,
for sure.
Dirty boxing.
Right.
He did stand around with Quinton, but I felt like, well, he had some success. You know, he was nailing him there with the straight. So he played with that one a little longer than I thought he was. But eventually, when he felt some of Quinton's power, he went down.
For sure.
Or he started to
and Chael's
wrestle
a tricky
more.
southpaw, too. You know, he does well with the striking.
But with Fedor, it's like you don't want to mess around, man.
You don't want to mess around.
He's got a vicious left hook.
For sure.
And then if he gets you down,
perfect to shoot under.
Exactly. And historically, we've seen Fedor have problems off his back.
Yeah.
So I think if Chael can take him down and keep that game plan and that grind that he's so willing to implement, I'm rooting for him. You know, not only is I just like the guy. Chael's always been a great dude to me, but I love Coach Clayton. So a win for those guys in that department. And fuck, he's Chael Sonnen. Like, I'm cheer for that.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? All right, 1,256 of you. Thank you for voting. 43% went with Bader. I and Eric Nicksick had Ryan Bader. 19% said Fedor Emelianenko. Nobody had Fedor Emelianenko. 21% said Matt Mitrione. Goes went with Mitrione, and 17% said Chael Sonnen and Emily Whitmire.
I mean, that's 17%
UFC
holding strong.
Yeah, it was pretty balanced, though. It was pretty balanced, aside from Bader coming in as the favorite. That's our daily debate today, and thank you all for voting. All right, let's move on here to the calls. Dan in Oregon, you're up next. What's up, Dan? How you doing?
What's happening? Man, if we could, I would love to talk about Tyron Woodley and him talking about the welterweight division.
Okay. Go for it.
He's out here saying that the welterweight division is in shambles or whatever. Well, Tyron, you're the champ, man. You're the leader of this ship, in my goddamn viewpoint. He's saying, you know, these freaking contenders need to get it figured out. It seems pretty much clear to me in my mind Colby doesn't want to get on that September card. He wants a bigger card. Woodley's kind of like, yeah, maybe I should wait for that payday. Well, Woodley's out here talking shit about him, saying, yo, you're holding out for a massive payday because this is the only ass whooping you're going to get, the only pay-per-view points you're going to get. And then in the same interview, he's talking about RDA. Why did you take the interim title fight? All you had to do was wait 1 month more, and I would have fought you, right. Which just so happened to be International Fight Week, the biggest card of the year. So, am I fucking crazy here, or does it sound like T-Wood is just saying, do the exact same shit that I just did? Or what the fuck's going on with the welterweight division? And is this, which I think, completely Tyron's fault? Let's make this welterweight division great again, man. Back to you guys. I'm out.
All right, we'll see it. All right, so I think what happened was when the UFC needed to move on the welterweight division, they turned to Tyron, and he just wasn't ready to go. So that's why they created the interim, which they fought in June. Tyron saying he'd be available in July, I don't think it means anything unless you're already willing to take the fight then and there. And I don't know if he would fully recovered by then. Because remember, they fought in June, but they created the fight like in April. So the UFC has no problem doing interim belts. And you know, that's the route they went. So now Colby defeats RDA. He needs to unify with the Undisputed, the interim and the Undisputed. But apparently, I heard Colby was hurt and couldn't get in September. I didn't hear that he just didn't want to fight. I don't know that you can do that. I don't know that you, when you're an interim, I think if you're healthy, you better go.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of that.
Because you are going to get pay-per-view points as an interim champ. Whereas if they strip him of that and he just fights him as a contender, he's not going to get those. So I think that fight will get made soon. Woodley, Woodley makes no secret about he just wants to get paid the most for whatever fight it is. So I bet you his goal is to get on Connor's card. But Connor's been...
I don't think it's going to happen, though.
I think they're waiting to see what happens next week. If Connor fights Khabib, I bet you he might angle for that. If not, New York. The further it gets pushed out, those cards seem to be paying more.
But if you're the UFC, wouldn't you want them to stand alone and make money in two different spots and versus just one?
Well, that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to book Tyron and Colby for Dallas in September, but Colby couldn't go. But in October, Connor and Khabib were supposed to fight, and Connor says he doesn't want any other champion. No, here in Vegas.
Okay.
He doesn't want any other champion on that card. He doesn't want anybody getting paid off him, which I don't know why he's taking that stance. What does he give a fuck? Right? That's like that power play. But I bet you Tyron would love to be on that card. You know, and if not, then the one in November in New York, because the New York cards seem to always do well.
Yeah.
Now, Darren Till said that he's waiting on Tyron to sign since Colby was out. Tyron said he never got a contract. Tyron says anytime they've ever said, here's the deal, here's the contract, fight, he says he's fought. But as long as they haven't offered, he's going to always hold out for whatever benefits him the most. Because he's a businessman. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about all that. I think he should fight Colby. Do you know Colby? Two Oregon people?
I don't know him, no.
No? You get a kick out of him, or what's your stance on Colby?
I definitely think he's taking like a little bit of like the Chael Sonnen route with like the talking business. I definitely don't think he's as fluid or as good as it, and so it just comes off wrong to people. But if you can like see through that and like actually see the guy in like a normal conversation, like you know he's not like. He doesn't think all that stuff he's saying is like real. So I think he just wasn't getting like the cred that he needed or was wanting to get, where just being the good wholesome boy from Oregon, and he had to take another route. And I think like one of their strength and conditioning coaches down at ATT is like some big name in like the pro wrestling world, like really good at like helping people with their gimmicks and stuff. So I don't mind Colby. I think I don't know him personally, so I can't really say, but I like watching him fight, and yeah, doesn't bug me any. I do want to see the Tyron Woodley fight, though. I think that's going to be a good one.
Who do you want to fight next?
Who do I want to fight next?
And when do you want to fight?
Oh, man.
Would you like to be on that Connor card in October?
Yeah, that would be
insane. Stay home, or do you want to be a world traveler?
Well, now that this last fight, I really didn't want to fight again in Vegas, but now that I did it again, now I'm like, dang, maybe I do want to stay in Vegas, not go anywhere and pay any taxes or anything. So I would love to fight there. I really want to fight Nadia Kasem. She's an Australian fighter, and so I watched her fight Alex Chambers, and I saw that, and I thought it'd be a good matchup. She's a southpaw. I train with a lot of southpaws. I want to fight a southpaw, so I definitely thought that'd be a good matchup. And I think we're like ranked right by each other, so it's kind of a matchup that makes sense. And she just came off a win, and I'm coming off a win, and I know she was supposed to fight in Singapore, and then she pulled out due to a back injury, so I was thinking the timeline would probably work out. She's healing from the back injury. I just fought, get something going. So maybe Mick might want to fly her here for me in October.
Where are you exactly with the hands? You said they're getting better.
Yeah, they were just sore. Like after the fight, like my body was just beat up a little bit from camp. My thumbs were sore, and then that finger and stuff. So I just didn't want to like be punching anything yet. But I'm like ready to start working out and stuff again. So it's not like I'm like completely on the shelf. But I just figured give my body the time it needed to heal. I was in a 3-round fight. Let my brain rest a little for a few weeks before I start getting slammed around again. So I'll definitely be back in the gym next week.
Let me ask a coach and fighter a question here. I've noticed that at the UFC PI, there are females and males who are in the smaller weight classes that have created a big group, and they go out there and they do their thing, right? And there's a lot of them. And I guess iron sharpens iron, blah, blah, blah. But the UFC PI doesn't really have coaches unless the coaches come. And I don't ever see them part of the picture, or maybe they choose not to or whatever. But do you think that's beneficial?
Yeah, I do. I think it builds continuity and camaraderie amongst your training partners. I know Joseph did a lot of that for his camp,
right?
And he, took Pooney, took a lot of our guys over there to do that, which was great. And a lot of that stuff was actually more for drilling purposes.
Okay.
And then they would do some of their sparring at a different time over there.
Do they have a coach that's actually running the practice?
Not really. Sometimes they do, like Coach Eddie, Coach Casey. Sometimes they'll come over in the mornings, and then right when Benavidez fought, Coach Eddie does all of his drilling stuff at Xtreme Couture now, just because it's just easier for all of us to be there. But for Benavidez, I mean, he had his nutrition, he had all of his therapy, he had the strength and conditioning, and he kind of just kept it all there, and then would come to our gym when he needed to for sparring or grappling or whatever it may be. But I mean, I look at it as a great commodity. Some people.
She seems to always be at Extreme, though.
She's always at Extreme,
right.
But like I think that's just due to like our relationship, Dennis's relationship, and we can't be at the PI as much because of the we're at our gym, and when I can, I'll try to bounce over there to watch. Like when I was cornering Kevin and he was sparring over there, I try to go over and make sure to watch sparring or vice versa. But she actually was doing us a service by keeping everything where we can keep our eyes on her. So, and I think that we just all kind of have that connection, But for the most part, they do a good job, and those guys know what they need and know what they want, especially when they're in camp and they hone down their specifics for what their training are. I love it, man. I think it's good for them.
All right. Let's take this last break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close, and we will be right back.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, let's finish up with a couple calls here, and then we'll get out of here. Showtime from Tennessee. What's up, Showtime? It's yo time.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? And hey, Eric and Emily. Hey, man, I wanted to call in. I basically, man, got emotional when you guys were talking about Big Ralph losing his daughter yesterday, man. If he's listening, man, and just tell him I know what it feels like to lose a kid, man, and it's painful, man, and we love him, man. And if you need anybody to talk to, man, that can relate to it, you know, with me being so fresh out losing my son, Georgia Goes, give him my number, man. But just let him know, man, we love him and we care about him, man, because he really needs this right now, man. For you guys to, you know, to be behind him and give him support.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I actually talked to him on the way here. He's doing a little bit better, but still, you know, tremendously devastated over the loss of his daughter. But I told him that, you know, I wish I could have talked a little bit longer, but it was really tough for me to get it out, and I didn't even give Goes much of a chance to say something. But I wanted to, you know, share it on the show, dedicate the show to her, yesterday's show to her, play her music, you know, Social Distortion, Offspring. But I told him a lot of people from Junkie Nation, you know, love Big Ralph. They've met Big Ralph at the Junkie gatherings, and so I know it meant a lot to him, and I told him a lot of people from Junkie Nation are thinking about him.
Yeah, man, when you said that, George, man, and I listened to you play the song, man, to be honest, I cried like a baby, man. And I
was tearing up too. Hang on 1 second, Showtime. I don't want to cut you off, guys. Can you just do like two minutes of overtime? All right, we're gonna extend the show by like 2-3 minutes. Sirius XM audience, you have more combat sports and entertainment headed your way. The Luke Thomas Show, keep an eye for that one. At the Fights, Misha Tate Show, which is MMA Tonight, or Busted Open. It's quality programming here on Rush, soon to be renamed. You'll hear about that on tomorrow's show. Give us a few seconds, and then we'll finish up. Proper exit here, and we'll finish up with Showtime.
Bandits crashing, almost hopes down the drain. Fever, Las Vegas turning day into nighttime, turning night into daytime. If you see it once, you'll never be the same again. I'm gonna keep on the run. I'm gonna have me some fun. It cost me my very last time.
All right, just a couple minutes here. So, a good buddy of mine, you may have met him before, Big Ralph. His daughter passed away this past Sunday morning. A freak skateboarding accident. She fell and hit her head, and you know, she lost her life within an hour. So Ralph's crushed, and I'm headed back to the OC tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Junkie Nation have gotten to meet Big Ralph over the years. He's just one of those life of the party guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there pouring a drink for people, wanting you to have a good time, and
fuck, man.
So that's what Showtime's talking. And Showtime lost his son. What, Showtime, about 3 months ago?
May 10th to be exact.
May 10th.
Freak accident as well.
I know, yeah. I will let him know. I will pass on your condolences to him. And again, yesterday was tough for me to get it out, but we wanted to dedicate the show to Vanessa yesterday. We played all the music for them, and she'll never be forgotten, at least for me. I've seen her grow up from being a little kid and playing basketball and always talking sports. She was, you know, a ton of fun to always see every time I headed back. Goes, I'm sorry, I didn't really give you a chance to say much yesterday, but if you want to say anything.
Well, I mean, pretty much the same stuff that you said. She was always such a happy spirit. And so today, I'm actually going to do something for her that, you know what one of my worst fears in life is? I know it sounds silly, just watching a movie by yourself in a movie theater. I'm going to do that for her today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to go to watch a movie.
There you have it. But I will pass that on, Showtime, to him. I'll be seeing him for the next week or so because I'll be in California.
Oh, okay, man. Appreciate that. And Eric and Emily, both of you guys doing great jobs and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Showtime. Good to talk to you, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
All right. Now. That is our show for today. I hope you get the fight that you want.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Whether it's in Vegas or wherever, we'd love to have you back to preview it once it's set and you got your camp in motion.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And it's been cool getting to know a little bit more about you and, you know, working with Eric and where's tippers and all that stuff.
How to pour proper Guinness.
You need to watch.
Looking forward to hearing that other street fight that she teased.
Oh, that's
so much.
You need to start watching more movies.
I know.
Especially on these long plane rides.
We're gonna give her a list.
I know. You'll have to give me like a list, and so then next time I come on, I'll have like a solid like movie
homework.
base down.
Give her one right now.
Right now,
Yeah.
Well, I think you live in Las Vegas now,
Yeah.
so casinos gotta
Okay,
be
I
one.
got-
Right?
Dan, shout one out. Which one should she watch? Go.
Go.
Go. How about
Okay.
you, Danny Olkers, the producer, back east in New York?
I gotta go with Ghostbusters.
I've seen Ghostbusters like a long time ago.
She's
like,
not
the
a loser,
original.
Danny.
Jeez,
I
come
didn't
on,
know
give me
what
a little
she's
bit of
seen and
credit.
what she hasn't seen. Have you seen the first Iron Man?
No, I will see that one.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to stay with the Leonardo DiCaprio theme of Titanic. Check
Oh.
out The Departed. Because
Oh.
it's got a lot of super hunks, so
that
I'm
goes
hooking
with,
you up
that
here.
goes with like Casino. They're like the same kind of like genre, right?
It's got
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, Leo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
I think, is that the gangster one? Like, I think I've seen that one actually.
Okay,
And there's
so
like
then
the scene where they're in at the
Catch
bar
Me
and
If
then
You
he just
Can.
like kills a guy at the bar really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can. That's like a magic movie, right?
No, that's he portrays being an airplane pilot, and he jumps around, and Tom Hanks is trying to chase him down.
Okay, I think I'll watch that one then.
All right, and you got one, Eric, for her?
Yeah, I'd probably say
Florida State documentary.
Because Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, or Seven, but like when she gets mad or she's crossed, she's fucking Woman on Fire.
There you go. All right, folks, give them a follow. Oh, and thank you to Cub Swanson for his time at Cub Swanson. Give them a follow here on Twitter at Whitmire MMA for Emily, and for Eric at Eric_XCMMA. We are out of here. Go out there and be a champion.